Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. It is the week of May the 11th, 2023, and the current challenge is New 52 Wonder Woman for 1 week repeat. Required characters are Deathstroke, Doomsday, and Lobo, who are available cheapest at bronze, silver, and gold respectively, so, not impossible, not as bad as last week where a challenge gold was required. Passive is Justice League Fury. When Wonder Woman activates a special attack or super move, Justice League teammates receive power. Superman, Batman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman. She has 1300 attack and 1200 health, and she was last available July 14th, 2022. So, is she the single best teammate? She is if you are thinking of using any other Justice League cards. She is one of the cards that was completely transformed by the introduction these many years ago of the Tantu Totem. Because you can look at the time before Tantu Totem, time after. Before Tantu Totem, generating power wasn't easy, wasn't quick. And her passive, like every other passive that required specials and bars of power, it wasn't very good. So what actually happens is her teammates will get power equal to half of what she spends. So Super spends 3, teammates get 1.5 bars. Special 2 spends 2, gives her teammates 1 bar. Special 1 spends 1 and gives her teammates half a bar. So her Special 2 does full damage because it doesn't have a secondary effect, which is good. And this gives you the best chance of knocking out the opponent, giving power back and having more power to give to her teammates when she's the one that's your specialist. Really important too, her Special 2 can knock out an opponent on more than just the last hit, and you can compare that to some of the challenge characters that were released later after this Wonder Woman, and they might have higher stats, but aren't as effective as your main damage dealer because only the last hit of those newer characters can knock out the opponent. Once Tantu Totem came and it made it easier to both generate and recover power, you really unlocked her potential. If you think of her passive as a way of leveraging and magnifying the effect of Tantu Totem, and it is, Man of Steel Superman, who we've got on this team, is a way of magnifying it even more, which is what you're seeing in this team. And if you pay attention in the next minute or so, I'm going to show you a couple of when this fight is over, I'm going to show you a couple of screen captures where in recent fights, he was able to get 8 special ones in just 17 seconds without the Tantu Totem, without Master's Death Cart. Wonder Woman had them. And another one where he did 6 special ones in just 10 seconds. So New 52 Wonder Woman is my favorite when facing a team that has Astro Harness in first slot because, well, all right, that's the first top. But second is, which we're not going to demonstrate here, is to have someone with Tantu Totem and Claw of Horus to shatter the opponent's gear before Astro Harness's first invulnerability wears off. Because you can do a few special ones and all of a sudden, Astro Harness is completely disabled. So you can fully charge your entire team if you get lucky because New 52 Wonder Woman Special 1 has a very fast animation. It doesn't take a lot of time and it does a decent amount of damage. So on Astro Harness's first invulnerability, you tag in New 52 Wonder Woman. You can do 3 quick special ones against it before the invulnerability finishes, getting your power back each time. That's 1.5 bars of power for each of her teammates. She still has both bars of power from tagging in. Invulnerability wears off, and if you're lucky, 1 special one that is unblocked and crits can often be enough to take the opponent down to the next invulnerability from Astro Harness, which gives your teammates another half bar of power. That's 2 total so far. And you still have 1 last bar of power while opponent's invulnerable. Do that 3 more times. 3 more special ones. That's another 1.5 bars of power to each of her teammates. And that is potentially 3.5 bars. So you're thinking, all right, 3.5. Characters only get 3 bars. That's true. Most of them, if you do anything more than 3, it's wasted. But for example, New 52 Superman, it's that 3.5 bars, that extra half bar still counts towards his passive to increase his damage. Not insignificant. 3 bars of power on your teammates when they tag in if you're facing somebody with Astro Harness. Pretty damn good. So as we've shown, she is excellent for Phantom Zone, where a bunch of the tasks are tied or can be tied to specials. So that's damage over time effects, damage over time damage, just straight doing specials, and health steals. This is 155 weeks now of a repeating pattern that first appeared May 2020, 3 years ago. We have had 4 complete runs of a 43-week cycle plus 26 weeks in the 4th cycle. No, 3 complete runs. And this is the 26 weeks into the 4th cycle, so 3 complete runs. If the pattern holds, next week is going to be Suicide Squad Joker. And we've still got 23 challenge characters missing. So we've got a cycle of 43. It really should be a cycle of 66. This week's multiplayer reward is Arkham Origins Deadshot. His passive is Trick Shot, bullets from Deadshot's sniper rifle and wrist gun's ricochet, dealing damage to all characters on the enemy team. When Arkham allies are in combat, each 10 seconds, Deadshot will shoot the enemy with an electrified round, draining enemy power. He was last available October 6, 2022. That's 123 weeks in a row of a consistent pattern. That is 3 complete cycles, 31 rewards sequence, and we are almost done our 4th cycle. This is the 30th week in a row of the 4th cycle. And unlike the challenge cycle, nothing is missing from multiplayer rewards. If the pattern holds, next week should be Mother Box, and then we begin a whole new 5th cycle with Cassandra Cain Batgirl after that. He's got very high stats. The first part of his passive makes him a good offensive character, and I don't know what to say. The splash damage, it works with his basic damage and his specials. His basic tap attacks will shoot bullets, and both of his specials, Special 1 and Special 2, shoot bullets. So the tap combo first hit is a punch, second hit is a shot from his wrist cannon, and half the time he will go into his 3rd hit, half the time you just repeat his 1st and 2nd hit. So it's a good offensive passive in general. Doesn't matter if you're using him as a special specialist or as a basic damage dealer. And if you really wanted to lean into it, Batman Ninja Joker can add more splash damage. However, one thing, I mean, it seems like an attractive thing to do, but you got to remember that aside from characters like Batgirl and Luchador Bane, where you can leverage the Special 1 damage and boost it to ridiculous levels, Special 2 in general is more useful for splash damage because it just does more damage in general. Batgirl and Luchador Bane are exceptions because the stun boosted damage of Cloak and Necron Scythe, plus being able to stun before or right after the start of Special 1 means Batgirl and Luchador Bane can generate way more Special 1 damage than pretty much anybody else. The second part of his passive can potentially drain a bar and a half of power, so it becomes even more important in fights when you're facing him to knock him out quickly so he doesn't have a chance to drain you. We've done a series of videos on him. The link is in the description. We've got him in multiplayer as a basic damage dealer, a special specialist, and a splash damage special specialist. And part of what makes him so good is his Arkham status. It gives you a chance to take advantage of Arkham Knight Batgirl as a teammate and just the general kind of Arkham synergy. I mean, let's be honest, every Arkham character is better because Arkham Knight Batgirl exists. And it's no different than the way every Flashpoint character is better because Flashpoint Batman exists. So in the store, we've got Suicide Squad Joker bundle for $24.99. It's a corroborating included next week. The challenge next week, and comes with 100,000 credits. It does not unlock them in your store, so it's not a great proposition when you can wait a week, get them free, and unlock them at the store at the same time. The other new pack is the Ultimate Bundle Bringers of Justice. It was last available January of this year, a few months back, and it's been $125 Canadian for the longest time. You have to look back as far as 2020 to find it cheaper at $95. And in 2019, when it was first released, it was only $66. Jumped up to $99, dropped back to $95, and then it's been at $125 since then. If you look at the description, it contains 10 of the best heroes. I guess it's worth pointing out that all of them are challenge characters, except Dawn of Justice Batman, who was previously a random drop in the Dawn of Justice Batman Gold pack. So it if it weren't for the fact that you had to spend so much money all at once, price per character is not bad. The fact that they're challenge characters, that's also not bad. And that Dawn of Justice Batman is normally so hard to get. But pretty expensive. The other pack that's not exactly new, but newer, is the Bleed Up pack, second week. Now, we talked about it last week. Batman Returns Catwoman, Regime Aquaman, and Mortal Kombat Scorpion. We've got a bunch of other packs that have been around now for more than a year, so we'll sort of skip right through those. And the Phantom Zone is back for 2 weeks. Fight 62 is still broken, and double XP for this weekend. Now, it's Mother's Day weekend in North America, and usually they tie this double XP to some sort of event on the weekend, but in my mind, it should be the opposite. Instead of having double XP on Mother's Day, it should be something to discourage instead of encouraging people to play, because, I mean, let's face it, the demographic is mostly not mothers, so they're not going to benefit from it. It's going to distract all the people, all the sons and daughters of mothers from spending time with her. It's time that they want to spend grinding. Anytime they spend grinding is time that they don't spend with their moms, and I guess unless their moms play. But again, not the right demographic. So last weekend's breakthrough golds were Joker, Nightwing, and Darkseid. This coming weekend is probably going to be Zod, Aquaman, and Shazam. The cycle for breakthrough has been pretty consistent once they finally added all the characters. The description has a link to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16, one of the mods there, that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And as far as current glitches go, we do go into more detail every time something significant changes, which did not happen this week. However, even if nothing changes, we still do a more detailed review once a month, the first week of every month. And most recently, that was our recap from May the 4th last week. So you can also see a video tutorial for every working glitch in our playlist, Current Working Glitches, linked in the description of this video, and also the eye in the top right corner. The one thing that's probably worth mentioning is that the Challenge Reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's New 52 Wonder Woman Challenge, and a reminder that the glitch for resetting the challenge is the same as the glitch for resetting Phantom Zone, so keep that in mind, knowing that you're going to be resetting progress on both at the same time when you do that. Okay, and that's it. So this is where we like to give a big thank you to our patrons on Patreon, and that would be Alexis M, supporting us on the Your Message Here tier, Michael Devries, Irvin Ruiz, and Hoshi127, who are supporting us on the credited level, and a long list, well, long for us, a nice list of people who have been generous to us and supported us during this pandemic. And thank you guys for watching. I was going to say we're going to see you next time. We're going to see you next week with a really interesting Q&A, a little different than anything we've done before. You don't want to miss it. Now, thanks for watching. Komoda.